The mics are hot, and so's the gossip. Let's get into it in 3.
Welcome to In 3. I'm Danielle Graham.
And I'm Kylie.
And if anyone listening wants the prescription to Kylie Jenner's boob job, we got you.
I did see that. And God bless her for being real.
I do love that. So I
love
guess
it too.
It was a comment on social media. Someone commented on her breasts and we're like, tell us how. And she was like,
here's exactly how to get what I have.
Exactly.
Which is like one of my biggest pet peeves in general. And like a la Lindsay Lohan last week saying that she gets a tighter face with chia seeds and lemon water. Thank you, no thank you. We have eyes and we were not born yesterday.
Yeah.
And same with Kylie. Like I think there's always a lot of discussion about how she got that body. We know what she looked like a number of years ago. Wasn't like that.
Yep.
So it would be weird if she was like, nah, girl, it's natural.
Mm-hmm. She was straight up.
Tell us how you got it.
Yeah, she wrote back to this person on social media and said 445 cc, which is that's a big implant.
Look at them.
Moderate profile, half under the muscle, silicone.
And tag the surgeon, right?
Surgeon.
I'm sure he appreciates that. Yeah. And I don't know if maybe Chris with her facelift coming out and telling everybody like who the doctor was and exactly what happened. I'm not sure if maybe that set the tone and maybe we're going to see a new, like the Kardashians turn a new leaf as it relates to their secrecy over the procedures they've had.
Yeah,
I also want to know about
transparency.
I want to know about a couple things, I want to know about their butts.
Yeah.
I want to know about the sculptedness of some of their bodies. There's been major body changes over the years.
Yeah.
And I think a girl's girl will be real about it.
Yeah.
Like
maybe you're right. Maybe there's more.
Don't play me.
I am no fool.
I am a no.
Just
fool.
Give over the prescription. We just need the RX.
Yeah.
If that's your thing.
And bless her. And I don't think
Yeah.
any less of her. Like I think more of her knowing these facts.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, listen, we all know they're not. You weren't born with
Exactly.
those. So thanks for the prescription on that.
Yeah.
Did you see Kylie and Timmy all loved up at the Knicks game over the weekend? I thought of you.
Oh my God. Well, I am not like someone that watches basketball or like really any sports, but I am sad to see that the Knicks are not in the playoffs anymore.
Oh, I didn't know that
Yeah,
part.
because I just watch for that.
Of
the
course.
courtside PDA.
Did you see what people spotted inside of her bag?
No.
It looked like
What was it?
Knicks lingerie. For like
My girl.
just fully committed to her man's obsession with the Knicks.
Oh my God,
And
no way. I love that.
It's like same color.
Oh, she knows what he
way
wants.
of the
And I bet like he's a wee little man, but like I bet they have
they
a
get
good
down.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also love how she's sort of laughing at herself because she did repost that scene from Sex and the City where Samantha is dating the Knicks fan.
Oh,
And basically like she gets so stressed out watching playoff games because she's like, I don't get laid if they don't win.
Right.
And Kylie, I love that Kylie's in an era where she's laughing at herself and laughing at that whole thing.
That's cute.
And I love their courtside PDA. You are not a fan of PDA.
No, I don't like, or just like too much touching in general. It's just not my favorite thing.
And
no.
I think that like,
And you like a PDA.
yeah, like maybe Jimmy and I, like maybe it's not like as much as it once was, but like we were known for our
You're schmoopy.
affection.
You guys are schmoopy.
We are a little schmoopy. And my stepdad, actually, Syndey, shout out, he's always like, it's like a joke in our family, like,
Yeah, like if your husband leaves the room you're in, he'll kiss you.
always.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like,
God,
we're good. I'll see you in 1 minute. But he's like, yeah, it's sweet. Like,
it is sweet.
I love that for us.
I do too.
Yeah. And I love that for Kylie.
It's very cute.
Now, here's my question to you.
Tell me.
I feel like I know the answer, but I want to hear you say it. Would you wash yourself with soap made of a celebrity's bathwater?
Absolutely not. That is disgusting. That is so gross.
Have you seen that this is the new product from Sweeney?
No. What?
This is so weird. And
how do you make a soap out of bathwater?
And off-brand for her. So Dr. Squatch, which is apparently like a men's soap line.
I bought it for Randall. I put it in his stocking at Christmas.
Well, there you go. Here's a new thing to put in his stocking at Christmas. Dr. Squatch has is turning heads and noses with the launch of its most buzzworthy product to date, Syndey's Bathwater Bliss, a limited edition bar soap made with actual bathwater from actress Sydney Sweeney. And she has confirmed it on her channels. I guess
That is so gross.
I guess it's like men are disgusting. They leave gross comments on her posts all the time,
Not
like
surprised.
I would drink your bathwater type thing. And she's like, no
Wait,
worries.
that's a regular comment?
I guess.
Sick. So
Men
gross.
are like men are gross online. I was gonna say men are gross, period, but like men are really gross and in the comments. But and I just feel like she's like, fine, let me profit off this, which I'm here for a commerce moment.
Always. For her.
Get your bag, babe, and do you. But this is like, what's going on here?
I'm actually just trying to look at the harvesting of the bathwater.
Right.
So she's marinating in this bathwater.
and then like gets out and doesn't drain it.
Right. And then the doctor
is her
squash
nightmare.
people. Oh, all of this for me is problematic.
Yeah.
So then the
Your
doctor,
OCD is peaking.
oh my, like, what? Type A me is like, no, this is a nightmare.
No, we can't.
So then so then she gets out and then the squash people come in and harvest that bathwater.
I guess so.
That is disgusting.
Where is she bathing? Like, is she bathing in their like laboratory? It's all
Right. Like
very
you would need a lot of
strange.
volume.
You would need a lot of volume. Yeah. It's sort of reminiscent of the Goop candle. As you know, that Gwyneth made a candle that was somewhat inspired by her scent Down Below.
Yeah.
Which I also find not like, that's kind of icky. I don't want that.
all of this for me
But
is a
that's
no.
like more of a feminist version. This is more for the dudes.
For the creeps.
This is for the creeps.
Yeah.
You're right.
It's for the creepy purpies.
It's creep con. I'm not going to buy this. I am here for Sydney Sweeney's like amazing single era. She finally confirmed that yes,
She
she
did.
is single and she's having the best time.
Yes.
And I love this for her.
I do too.
And make some money on it.
Yes.
Why not?
Speaking of, well, no, not making money, spending money.
Okay.
Let's line up the show,
Yes.
shall we?
Oh my God, yes.
So the first story, Taylor Swift spent some money.
She
but
sure
the girl
did.
has her art back. So she got her master's back. And there's lots of other things happening with Taylor Swift. we have
So
to talk
many
about.
things.
Yes. Then we're going to get into Brad Pitt on the cover of GQ magazine
Yeah.
and the article inside and everything that's happening with Brad. The finalization of the divorce from Angie.
Yeah, and some of the kids are making some headlines.
are.
So there's a lot there as well.
And then Hugh Jackman.
I
Whoa.
am actually like, I'm not happy for anyone's sadness or
No.
anything like that, but I am excited to be talking about this because it's been on the radar for a number of months and we haven't gotten there yet. So I'm excited to
And
dig in.
we were delivered a statement.
Yeah,
so we have to.
We were to the Daily Mail,
Oh.
which is the shadiest place to do that.
So many pieces of this story. Very, very juicy.
Yes.
And then we're going to wrap it up with we have to talk about Dakota Johnson.
Yeah.
The girl is everywhere.
It girl
Yes.
of the moment.
Yeah.
I guess that's what an it girl is.
An it
Of
girl.
the moment.
It's like when
It
the
girl
space women
of
went to
the
space.
moment. Exactly.
Save.
Yes.
Okay. Taylor Swift makes her return to social media on her main feed. We've not seen anything on her social media since December.
Right.
It's a photo of herself with her albums with the caption, "You belong with me," right?
Right.
And she reveals on a letter on her website, which was very personal, It's handwritten.
She's so, I mean, obviously she's such an amazing writer, but reading that statement, like I was like, ChatGPT, there's no chance that ChatGPT wrote this. Charlie was
No.
not involved. Like this, she pours her heart into everything and she's just so good with the written word and communicating. And I really felt her full emotion in reading her statement. And it was long.
But it was long. But that's the connection she has with her fans.
Yeah, I
that's
agree.
the way
That's
she
why they
wants
love her.
That's exactly right. It feels very personal. And that
Yeah.
statement was personal, handwritten, talked about the struggle to get her masters back and everything she'd been through and the carrot being dangled for many times.
Yeah.
And now they are hers. Her art fully belongs to her
Yeah.
with no strings attached and full autonomy. And it's a really big deal. And it's a very exciting thing for her. She actually said, it's my greatest dream come true.
Yeah.
And really, I can see that because it was a really tumultuous thing for her. So she signed with Big Machine Records. They had the masters and it's very
in 2005.
Yeah.
And at that time, as you were going to say, like it is very common for a record label to
Yeah.
own the masters.
It is. And that's a very standard kind of practice.
Yep.
So, but then Scooter Braun bought Big Machine Records.
Right.
And thus Taylor's catalog for the first 6 albums.
So I just want to pause there for a second
Yeah.
because I guess, I saw We Hate Scooter and I was like, we hate Scooter. I'm on board.
Right.
Like, no problem. And there was so much going on. Like, so many of his artists bailed on him and unfollowed him. And Taylor, came out and said that she did not like that he owned her masters. So I was like, cool. I don't need to know that much more information.
Right.
I think an important point here, and I'm not saying I'm team him, I'm just saying he didn't just go out and say, I want to own Taylor's masters and I'm going to go and own them and she's not going to get any access to them and it's going to be me. No, his record label acquired another record label.
Right. The whole
thing. She was a part of. But so he didn't just buy her masters. He bought whoever was under that record label.
Right.
He bought their masters, and Taylor's father was part owner of that record label, and he made almost $20 million off the sale of
Yes, he did.
Of Ithaca, which is Scooter Braun's label, buying out Big Machine Records.
Yeah, he was a minority owner.
Yeah, but he still made out with 20 mil.
He did.
So I just think that's an important point here, because I think like if we're going to look at the whole macro story of what went down, I thought that she made him sound like he was bullying her and that he really sort of targeted her. But that doesn't seem like that's what happened with this acquisition. That doesn't mean that there weren't some shady things that went down. And I'm not saying that he didn't, do her dirty and that, and that we're cool with him. I just think that that's something I didn't realize. And in my research of this story this week, this is what I realized.
Yeah, those are facts. Yeah. That happened. But then he went and turned around and sold Taylor Swift's masters. Just hers a year later at a big profit. And at that point, allegedly did not give her the opportunity to buy them back.
Right.
And knowing how devastated she was that her masters were out there and how much she wanted them, to not have the opportunity to buy them back, allegedly, was devastating.
Yeah.
And she was upset about it, and she should have had the opportunity. Now, apparently there were some cases over the years of her trying to get them back that it was like, yeah, you can have them, but. And I'm really happy for her to have reclaimed
100%.
To reclaimed her art, because
can you imagine?
No, and it's being traded around like playing cards.
Well, right.
Yeah, and to lose so much control of it. And then, I do love the pivot of going and recording Taylor's versions, of which she's made so much money. Like, those albums made more than the initial ones in a lot of cases.
Yes.
And it's very likely she got an advance from her record label to make those as well. So she's made a lot of money.
Yeah.
Making with her art. And now her art belongs to her, and she can make even more money by having her art back.
But you're right. The violation of having these men specifically kind of trade around her life's work and art like that was probably absolutely devastating. It was Kelly Clarkson that originally gave her that advice. Like, hey girl, why don't you just re-record this so they get nothing from buying that?
It was a tweet, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was so good.
Which I love. And I love that for the girls. Just
Me
like,
too.
that was amazing advice. And she truly has the most incredible fans who were like, if this is what we're doing, we're going all in for you. We're going to buy every new album, even though we've bought all the others. We're going to buy all the new artwork. We're going to go to this tour. We're going to do all the things. And that's what she says really allowed her the ability to afford her art back, was the support of her fans and all of the money that she has made from that crazy Eras tour that just would never end. And good for her. She put in the work on both sides, and now she's reaping the rewards. I wonder if, so I remember we kind of started the show last week talking about the AMAs and how I will never go down a rabbit hole to follow the Swifties down their breadcrumb rabbit hole, because
Reputation TV?
Yes.
I know. It's been so long. Everyone's like, this is it. This is the moment.
Well, also, we thought maybe she was going to appear at the AMAs and have this big launch. And because they were teasing the number 26.
Yeah.
I wonder if they were teasing the number 26 and if 26 was the day she signed this contract to get her masters back.
You've become one.
Listen, I was just
She
thinking,
is her. I am she.
While I was getting ready.
No.
As we do.
If you're playing the number games, you're in.
I'm like, wait, okay, so if she announced it on this date, does that mean maybe she signed on the 26th?
Cal,
It's possible.
It's happening. It's happening to you.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it is. But she did say also, back to the breadcrumbing, that because fans have been waiting a long time for Reputation Taylor's version.
Right.
She said she's recorded very little of it, and it's likely not going to happen because she couldn't recreate how she felt at that time and the headspace she was in at that time, and the snarl and the grit and the feeling she had.
Yes.
So it's not happening.
And interesting, like, totally, if you think about it, it makes sense that she was in such a specific mindset and going through so much turmoil at that time, and like that would be hard to recapture that kind of like intensity and a little bit of anger and all the stuff she was going through. Was that about Kardashian? Was that about Kanye?
And that's where Scooter was also not protective. He was part of the bullying in that too. Right. So it was a really dark time. So I love a woman who gets control of her life back, and I'm just so thrilled for her to have
100%.
her art back home.
I know, I love that
and for her to say this is her greatest dream come true. This woman has lived a big life.
Yeah, like reached a lot of highs of the highest of the highs.
This is her highest high. This is her big one, and I think that's
a
one time
for
thing.
Taylor.
Yay, absolutely. So and she's back out there.
She's back out there. So before she announced this, we saw her out with Dakota Johnson, and I was like, okay, something's happening because we don't see Taylor unless she wants us to.
All intentional, always.
Who she's with, what she's wearing, where she's going, what's going on. Like all of that is so particularly controlled. There is no coincidences here. So when we saw her out with Dakota Johnson, who we'll talk about later, that was like, okay, like she's telling us something. And then the night of the announcement, she went out with Selena, one of her oldest friends in the biz. Love to see those girls out together. I don't think they probably haven't seen each other since Selena got engaged. Like I feel like Taylor really went dark for a bit there.
She did. We haven't seen her since the Super Bowl, really.
Right.
Intentionally. There's been spottings, but stepping out, which is what this was, is they step out.
Yes.
Super Bowl.
So a
while ago.
Right.
So these were very intentional, to your point, plans with very strategic people.
Yes.
At very strategic places.
Yeah.
For all those reasons.
Yeah, exactly. And we know Selena and Taylor love a gossip, as the girls do. I would have loved to be a fly on the wall. Like, what did they talk about? Everything.
Well, there's that photo going around where it's just like mouth agape.
Yes.
They're chit-chatting.
Exactly.
And Taylor's like,
I know. I love her facial reactions. She has like no chill.
No, she can't hide her face.
No. And I know that those girls like probably have the most tea, and I feel like that's what happened that night.
Well, I think so too, because they're really close.
Yes.
And who's not close with Selena is Blake Lively.
Is
Blake
that right?
Lively. Oh, no.
Oh, is that like a
They
thing?
don't mix.
Oh.
Blake Lively and Selena Gomez do not mix. Those were friendships Taylor had to keep separate.
Oh, that's always such a big red flag.
Right. Mm-hmm. And there have been rumors for a long time that Selena Gomez warned Taylor Swift about Blake Lively.
No.
I don't trust. I don't like. I don't feel good about this.
She had an instinct.
There was an instinct or an incident. We don't know.
Okay.
But no, there was never crossover there. Very church and state in the friendship department. So the fact that she was back out with Selena.
Big statement there.
Huge
See,
statement.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay. And then people are talking about her outfit choices. I don't know why we're still obsessing about her bad fashion. Like, she can make hundreds of millions of dollars. She can buy back whatever she wants, but she cannot hire a stylist. I don't understand.
Well, we don't know that there isn't a stylist. Like, maybe there is one who's doing this.
Well,
but I agree. I mean, they were not my favorite choices. I liked the black with the rhinestone, the Gucci look, better than the floral look. But I agree. It's not great.
I just wish that somebody would help her. I'm certain that if she has a stylist, I don't think she has a stylist. I really don't think she has a stylist. Okay. I'm like going to go on record.
Well, no one's putting their name on it. That's for sure.
That's my point. Like, and if you're Taylor Swift stylist, you're like, hands up, I'm Taylor Swift stylist. Like, you want people to know.
Right.
No. She doesn't have one.
There are people chattering. I am never going to be one to comment on a woman's body.
Agreed.
I will never do that.
Right.
That is not our place.
But there's
that
some
is
headlines.
There are headlines. There is speculation
Yes.
that she could be. This is not from me. This is not me in any way saying anything about this. Just telling you what the people are saying online. That she could be with child.
Well, she doesn't.
That an engagement is imminent.
Well, she doesn't look pregnant. Like, she looks the same. But she is wearing outfits where maybe you could hide a pregnancy under there.
As someone who's concealed a bump,
could mine right now.
Right.
So like grain of salt, we're both pregnant.
I have nothing to conceal.
Nothing to conceal, but I could be concealing something. Yes. And so I think that's the point. And I did say a couple maybe months ago, we were talking after the Super Bowl about how they hadn't been seen and how Donna, Mama Kelsey, had come out and made like a little messy comment about potentially Travis becoming a father. And I said, maybe she's pregnant. Maybe she's hiding a pregnancy. Now it looks like it is possible that she could. And I will say, if she is great, good for her. If she's not great, good for her. Whatever she wants.
Yep.
But it would explain, I think, some of the behavior around the Blake Lively stuff. If she was pregnant.
Right.
And she was just like, I cannot be stressed right now. I cannot be stressed right now. I don't want any part of the subpoena. I don't want to be dragged into court when I'm like either brand new mom or bajillion months pregnant. I don't want any part of this. And
protect my peace, protect my bod, protect my
So and then also the way that Travis responded with that big unfollow, that big kind of protective action of unfollowing Ryan and Blake. I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching. This is what I do now, apparently, with the breadcrumbs. But
I love it.
It looks, I mean, that behavior could be the behavior of newly pregnant parents.
No, it is not implausible. And I do think we will see an engagement this summer.
I agree.
They'll have been together 2 years this summer. There is no signs of this couple not making it as of right now.
Right.
I think we're going to see a ring this summer.
And we saw Travis
before the season starts
in Kansas City, looking radiant. This man is living his best life.
Oh my God, could he look any happier?
Like literally.
He is joy
personified. And who could blame him? Life is good for them right now.
Life is good for them.
They're out of that Blake Lively mess. She's got her master's, good things are happening. He's going in for his final season. All is well. Good for them.
And it's showing.
All is well.
You know who looks really well? And I mean, like, how? Brad Pitt. If you have not yet seen the cover of GQ, I highly recommend looking it up. But I also highly recommend going to the website and watching the video content.
Facts. Hard facts.
Because it is something to behold.
He is just, it's not even... Like, yes, he's so beautiful. It's next level.
No, he's aging like,
but I do think he's had some work done, and I think he should be posting what he's had done. If we're asking the girls for it, we should ask the men as well.
Fair.
But it's also like how he wears his clothes. There's something about how Brad Pitt can wear an outfit, and it just hangs perfectly on him. Like. There's something about how he walks, how he moves. I don't know what it is, but like clothes just look a certain way on that man. He is a fine wine.
He is indeed.
And I am blinded by his beauty. I will just say it. Like my initial instinct with everything is protect Brad, which is terrible. And that's patriarchy. He is just too beautiful not to love him.
I had to challenge myself when I was looking this up. And I was like, oh my God, he's so beautiful. He's so perfect. I was like, no.
That's not what we're doing here.
That's not what we're doing here.
But
two things can be true.
I fully agree.
We are in duality.
I fully agree.
He's so gorgeous. And also... maybe a dick.
Yeah, like maybe the worst.
And maybe the worst. And like abusive and awful, but really hot. That's what it is.
I know.
But I got blinded.
No, I am so blinded.
I'm so
like
glad it wasn't just me. I had to check myself.
No, we did. I know. Damn. I had to check myself also.
Do you know what it is though too?
What?
It's because he's doing this racing movie. So he's doing this F1 movie. And I am a huge fan of Drive to Survive.
I know you love it.
And I flip and love Lewis Hamilton because he's also so gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
And now it's like, wow, this like ridiculously hot man is doing this ridiculously hot sport. It's a little bit too much, and it did cloud my judgment.
Yeah, and he does all of his own driving. Yeah, and we're definitely seeing that movie
100%.
Yeah,
it's like when I told you I went to see Oppenheimer
just for Cillian Murphy.
That is because I wanted to learn about Oppenheimer.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I was like, God, this is really boring.
Said no one ever.
But I do really want to see this. It looks great. And
no,
you're right.
Same.
Brad Pitt is driving race cars. Like, could you imagine the insurance stress of this?
They did talk about that in the in the article. They were like, we cannot have Brad Pitt die on this set. So let's just figure out the insurance piece.
He did make a wee statement, very wee statement about the end of his marriage to Angelina, which, as we know, was a very long 8-year divorce.
Yeah.
Split in 2016, just wrapped this thing up not long ago.
Yeah.
And it was very
finalized
contentious.
in December.
Yeah. And there was a lot of contentiousness around the custody of the children, division of assets, Chateau Miraval. One of my favorite rosés.
So good.
I still think of them every time I have a glass. And then obviously with the allegations of what took place on the plane with Brad, Angelina claiming that Brad abused one of the children on this flight, the FBI and the FBI were involved, and Child Protective Services were involved. So it was a very, very, very messy, horrible divorce.
Yep.
On that, he says he was asked if he felt relief now that it's over. And he said, no, I don't think it was that major of a thing. Just something coming to fruition legally.
Right.
Saying nothing.
So, yes, I think that he thought he was like sneakily handling this because he is a pretty private guy. Mm-hmm. I think he thought he was like expertly deflecting this question and being like, I'm not going to give them anything. I'm not going to give them any headlines. Wrong.
All headlines.
Do you forget that you're Brad Pitt and then your ex-wife is Angelina Jolie? Because all the headlines.
Yep.
We all want to know. And so every headline is like this sort of
come to fruition.
Nothing answer.
Yeah.
Like Brad Pitt basically is neutral on his divorce being finalized.
Yes.
As the devil's advocate, yes, of course it sounds awful and extremely stressful and all of the bad things. But 8 years, like if you asked me if something legally was solidified after 8 years and I was asked about it, I would probably be also neutral. Mm-hmm. Like it does sound like, in sort of researching what's going on with him and all the latest, I did go back and read some articles from closer to the beginning of the divorce, like when they first split. When
it was so bad.
It's so bad. And he talked a lot about being in therapy, processing things. He got sober. Thanks to Bradley Cooper, who he says really took him on that journey and wrapped his arms around him in that journey. So he talks a lot about processing things and taking accountability and doing the work. I don't know him. I don't know what that looks like for him or if he's been successful, and I'm not here to comment on that. But I will say, if someone's been in therapy and been processing it, and then 8 years later they're asked about it coming to an end, I don't know what they're looking for there.
Right.
And it is Brad Pitt. Like, he is so private. He's never been public like that.
No, and he probably wouldn't want to give her any reason to kick up any dust either.
She's still very mad.
Very, very mad.
And as she should be.
It appears as though the kids might be as well. Most of them have dropped, they were Jolie Pitts. Most of them have dropped Pitt and just go by Jolie.
Right. Which I think says a lot.
Yeah. And we've seen Angelina over the years dropping some off at university and, supporting Broadway shows.
She's a really hands-on
She's
mom.
a really hands-on mom. And you just don't see Brad in those scenarios. I haven't seen Brad with the kids in a very long time.
I think he's alienated from all of them.
It sure looks that way.
My question, again, just being devil's advocate, I do think that when kids are young and impressionable and something obviously happened on the plane, we don't know exactly what. The FBI didn't think that there was any abuse that took place, right? I do think that children, especially children with a strong kind of independent mom figure, tend to take the mom side, period, with zero questions asked. Like, I kind of get that. I've been in those environments. I know those people. And they were all very young and very impressionable at that time. I think it's always unfortunate when relationships with children are lost, especially when they're that young and not really able to make a really conscious decision based on like real adult brain frontal lobe situations.
Yep.
So I don't know. I think that, like when you're a young child and you see your mom in distress, it's almost like the knee jerk is to take the
protect.
mom's side. Protect the mom, of course.
Yep.
And so I think that's really what happened here. I don't know if he deserves to be back in their lives. I can't speak of it. My lust for him has nothing to do with me thinking he's a fit father.
Right. And maybe he doesn't want to either, for all we know. Maybe he's just decided to go kind of solo mish here.
I think.
Who knows?
We haven't heard from him directly, but sources say that he's incredibly heartbroken about that and has tried in whatever capacity to remedy those situations. And maybe they'll find their way back to each other.
Maybe.
Interesting to see Shiloh out there.
Yeah.
She's a choreographer.
Yes.
Which is
I've seen
kind
those,
of awesome.
I've seen the dancing.
Yeah.
She's shy now. Just shy.
Shy
Jolie.
Shy Jolie with no E.
Great name.
Love it.
So
Love
cute.
it so much.
Yeah.
Also an extremely private human.
Very much so.
But this week she did participate in a dinner for Isabelle Marant, the designer, and she choreographed the performance that took place there. So she's kind of out there. She's going to be in the business, I guess.
Yeah.
To what extent, I'm not sure.
But she's got that
But interesting,
flair.
she's got that bug. Pax, one of Angie's oldest adopted sons, is also making headlines. I don't know if you've seen this.
No, what's Pax doing?
Not for the best reasons.
Hey. Away at school?
He's 21. No, he's in LA. He has had multiple accidents on his motorbike.
Yes, I did know about that.
Like random accidents, like running into parked cars and things like this. Like things that wouldn't just be like, fender bender. It's a little suspicious and concerning potentially. And then this week there are pictures of him all over Page 6, very intoxicated outside of Chateau Marmont, like to the point where like his friends
there.
had to. I know.
Of all the places?
No, we can't do
Have
it
we
there.
learned nothing?
Have we learned nothing?
From Lindsay Lohan, Paris Hilton, and Nicole Richie? No.
No, nothing good happens there.
No.
So he was, he was so intoxicated. I wouldn't normally like speculate on that, but he literally couldn't stand up. Like his friends are holding him. So I don't like to see that. I hope that. But he is 21. Like maybe he's just doing 21-year-old things. And, when I was 21, there were no cameras. But yeah, like let's not do it there.
Yeah.
But that's what's happening over there.
Okay. Angelina Jolie hates me and my face, right?
I remember something about this. Please tell more.
This was years ago at a Toronto Film Festival red carpet. So as an outlet, you get your spots on the red carpet.
Yeah.
I got spot 5, which is a pretty good spot. She walks into the front doors of the theater where the red carpet is and literally locked eyes with me, did a quick scan, locked eyes with me. And I just saw a flicker and a face. And I thought, oh, that's not good.
Uh-oh.
I don't like the look.
No.
I don't like that look. Now she is stoic and she's someone who can control her face.
She's very cold.
She does interviews 1, 2, 3, and 4, skips over me.
No.
And goes to the person beside me. Now keep
Have
in
you
mind,
guys met before?
Yes, but like it's not a memory thing. It was not I know you.
It was
you've
just a
done
your
something.
face thing.
I hate your face. It was I hate your face. Skips over me, but keep in mind these are shoulder to shoulder. So I'm still looking at her. She's right beside me.
You could put your mic flash out and still get part of her response.
Yes. And then she keeps going. And then around me, the journalists around me are like, "Oh, I'm so sorry that happened." And if you know me, I hate pity so much. I'm like, "Oh, no,
we're good."
So I did what you're not supposed to do is I went down the red carpet. So you're not supposed to move spots once you get your spot. I go down
You were
further.
so brave.
I did. I wedged myself between a stanchion and a barricade, and I'm like in there,
So
and
good
I
at
try
your job.
again. Skips over me again. So now I'm like in this cat and mouse game with Angelina Jolie.
What's her deal?
I don't know. She was so intentional and she talked to everybody but me. What the heck? Then I'm like, no, I'm not done here because I'm also nothing if not
kept
tenacious.
going.
You're darn right I did.
Wow.
I went to the very end of the red carpet. I actually had gone to see her speak that afternoon, so I was prepared for this red carpet. And I shouted out a reference to what she said that afternoon. And she actually saw me at the end and started laughing. She was like,
she's like
no,
this one.
No, she came and talked to
She
me.
went Maleficent on you with the Maleficent laugh?
She laughed at the fact that this crazy woman is still trying to
tried
talk to
30 times.
And she gave me something. She literally gave me something because she was like, you know what? I don't like you. I don't know why I don't like you. but I'll give you a soundbite. And she did. I'm telling you, she did. It was a bit of a drive-by. No, it was like she just did a quick stop and kept moving.
It was a pity soundbite?
But I got a clip, Callie. I wasn't going back to the station without a clip. That is the kind of
that's why you are the best in the business. It sounds like she looked at you like the attendants at the border, at the U.S. border, look at me when I try to cross. They're like, I just don't like your face. You're going to the back room. I don't need to know anything about you. I don't like you. I just don't think you are not welcome.
But we don't have those kind of faces. I don't think I did. Anyway, she did not like me, but I got what I needed.
Only person in the world that couldn't like your face.
We watched that tape back. I can't tell you how many times, and you can see the moment when she locked with me and was like, not happening.
What is going through her mind?
It was weird. And also one of my favorite stories because it's just so funny.
Maybe you reminded her of like someone from high school that she didn't like. Do you ever have that? Like there's like one name where you're like, I don't like your name because of that person that I knew when I was 12 and she was mean to me.
Yes.
Maybe that was like that.
Maybe it was that.
I don't know.
Maybe
that
is one of those
so
phases.
Weird.
Yeah, it was weird and also really funny. Hugh Jackman, one of the most beloved leading men of all time ever. No one has said an unkind thing about Hugh Jackman in the 20 years I've worked in entertainment TV, and I'm sure you could say the same.
Yes,
right?
Definitely.
He's just one of the good guys. And as someone who has met him and interviewed him, I can attest to that.
Okay.
Delightful, lovely.
Yes.
Right? Right now, Hugh Jackman's taking some heat.
He's taken some, not even strays. No, he's taken direct hits to the face.
Yes. He was married to
Deborah Lee, who was, when they met, a very big star in Australia.
Yeah.
So he was just fresh out of college or like acting school when they met. He was significantly younger than her, and they got engaged I think within like a few months.
Yeah, it was quick.
And they were together for 27 years, but she was like the bigger star of the two of them.
That's right.
And then she sort of took a back seat so he could become who he is today.
Wolverine. So they were married a very long time, separated a few years ago.
And also, one of those couples that you saw on the carpet and you're like, I love that he's married to her.
Yes.
I love that the fame hasn't gotten to his head where he's like off with some young hottie or whatever.
Because she was 13 years older than Hugh.
Exactly.
So there was an age gap there.
And for those of us in North America, like we didn't know her. So we were like, oh, he's married to a normie.
Yeah.
But if you ask people who are from Australia, they're like, no, she is a star.
She's a big deal.
Big deal.
Yeah. And I will say that I remember back when, especially when entertainment reporting was not always kind, there were a lot of comments about her.
Right.
And how he could run off with a younger actress. And he's so gorgeous. Why is he? These are not my words. This is just kind of what. And I'm sure she felt some of this at the time.
Sure.
You know, Hugh Jackman is like people's sexiest man alive.
Right.
And he's
Wolverine.
He's Wolverine. He could be with a younger woman.
The mutton chop's not my vibe, but okay.
Same. Anyway, they get separated, and now she has filed for divorce with a statement.
Yes. I don't know how often people like file for divorce and then make their own statement to Daily Mail, which is the shadiest outlet of all of the outlets. Like, you could have made it to People Magazine.
Sure.
You could have made it to like the New York Times. To go to Daily Mail, I feel like is so deliciously messy.
It is.
And I love this for her.
Yeah, it's messy. She said in her statement, "My heart and compassion goes out to everyone who has traversed the traumatic journey of betrayal."
Ooh.
Which is telling on Hugh Jackman in every way, shape, and form.
Yeah.
Because he is now dating Sutton Foster, who he met while working on Broadway
while they were still married.
They were still married, and she was still married. Sutton was still married as well.
Yes.
And there was lots of speculation that these two had something going on. There was people who worked on the production who were like, oh, something's happening there.
Oh, yeah. It was like Broadway's worst kept secret.
It really was. And it was the worst kept secret for a very long time.
And because if you look at also Sutton and Hugh made some red carpet appearances together promoting their show, and they looked like a couple. The way they looked at each other, the way she posed with him. If someone posed like that with my man,
no kidding,
my man,
you're schmoopy,
we would
man.
have a problem. We would have a
huge
hand on the chest, hand behind the back, around the waist. No, thank you.
We call that too comfortable.
Yeah,
you're not
We
too
call
comfortable.
that like
bright
red siren flags.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
And she must have known. And then, and Sutton is quite a bit younger than Hugh. So what is the age on that? I have that here. 1 second here. It's they're 19 years, I think, 20 different.
Years,
yeah, 20 years different.
Yeah.
He's 69, she's 50. So poor Deb, who for many years was this older woman normie, and felt that narrative, I'm sure, now has been betrayed by her husband with this younger woman.
And knowing that she sort of put him on the map and then allowed him, gave him that space and that grace to flourish and raise his children behind the scenes as a lot of good women have done.
Yep.
Sources say that he is very disappointed with her making this statement, that they had an understanding that they would not publicly trash each other. And to that I say, they also probably had an understanding
when they got married
that he wouldn't
step out
and run away with his co-star. So I'm good with her making whatever statements she wants.
Yeah.
Her friends online. So she's really good friends with Amanda de Cadenet.
Who's that? Do I know that?
She was one of the first people to have like a online talk show and she's friends with Gwyneth. She's friends with Zoe Saldana. She's friends with like all the people.
Okay.
She has been messy in the comments, going on all of these.
I love a good friend.
Oh my gosh, she's the best friend. Going on all of these sort of like gossip bloggers, going into the comments of the gossip bloggers, making content about Hugh and this affair, and basically like liking things, commenting, being like, don't worry about Deb. She's coming back with a glow up in no time. So she's all confirming this. Like her friends are out there confirming it and having her back. And I love that.
I think people on another planet can look down here and confirm that what happened
we know what
here.
happened.
We know what happened here. But what she did with this statement is, let me just fix myself, sorry. What she did with this statement was, she's told the world, Hugh Jackman is not the guy that you've all built him up to be.
Right.
He's not the most beloved. He's not perfect. He's not the greatest showman or man.
Right.
He betrayed me. He stepped out on me. He destroyed our family and our marriage. And I'm going to tell you about that. And you know what? I'm fine with it because he broke her trust. They got married. There are vows attached to that.
Yeah.
And he did what he did. And now her saying what she needed to say, I co-sign.
I'm here for it.
Yep.
Interesting that, you know, Hugh is very good friends with Ryan Reynolds, as we know, and was like the one person sort of standing with them
the lone
when
wolf.
No one else would. But, you know, Ryan and Blake met when Ryan was still married to Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, yeah.
And it is alleged that their romance began with an affair. So, and when Hugh first announced his separation from Deborah, he was seen a lot with them, partly I'm sure because of the Deadpool Wolverine was like in pre-production and all the things, but also it kind of looked like a coming to the table and trying to establish a strategy. And they were like, okay, here's how we turned our affair into a golden couple, and maybe here's
America's
your playbook.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's regretting taking any advice from them now, considering they are the messiest
of all
people
time.
with absolutely no strategy, it seems. But I think people forget about that. So there was a lot of paparazzi photos when they first split with Hugh, with the like third wheeling with Blake and Ryan.
Yep.
And now looking back on that, thinking like he was probably like, okay, how do I make my mistress my main squeeze and still be in favor with the public?
How do I go?
Because
side piece
Blake
too.
and Ryan really got away with that for a long time until now.
They did.
Right?
I wonder if we'll ever see a double date with Sutton Foster, Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds, and Blake Lively. Unlikely.
Well, I think that Blake will take whatever she can get. So if Sutton's willing to sit through, if Sutton's willing to sit through dinner with her, then they're going to dinner.
Oh my God.
And she wants you to see it.
They'll be stepping out.
This is a $400 million divorce.
Oh, it's a biggie.
Apparently she's going to get $100 million, which I think she should get half.
I think half. Why are we getting just a quarter?
I agree. That makes no sense to me.
It makes no sense to me either.
And apparently she's been flooded with book offers. So I'm sure we'll hear the full story soon.
I hope this woman has no whisper of an NDA.
It doesn't seem like she does.
It doesn't. Good for her. We stand with you, Deb.
We do.
All right. Dakota Johnson, Cal. She really has been everywhere. I've seen a lot of her lately.
We have to talk about Dakota Johnson.
Why are we seeing so much of her?
I feel like Dakota's such an interesting case study.
Okay.
Because
in Nepo Baby?
Well, she's a Nepo baby. I'm sure most people know that, but in case you didn't, Melanie Griffith and Don Johnson are her parents. And she's been in movies for decades. But I can't really name a great movie she's been in. I know she was in the 50 Shades of Grey and that trilogy, or however many movies there were.
Yeah.
I don't think I actually watched a full one.
No, neither did I.
But that was sort of those are her big coming out roles.
Yeah.
Right? Like that was her first big break.
Yep.
Which is like huge.
Big one.
But I've never seen them. And then she's been in movies since, but I don't think
I was going to say, I'm actually trying to think and name one, and I can't.
And then her most recent movie was Madame Web, which is a Marvel movie. Marvel?
I don't know. You can't ask me about the universes.
Okay, I got this.
I should know this by osmosis, living in with my husband, but I don't.
Marvel, yes.
Marvel, okay.
So she recently did Madame Web, a Marvel movie, which was one of the most poorly rated Marvel movies of all time.
I've not heard Randall talk about it, so it must be
it was
uninteresting.
A joke, like the laughing stock, to the point where like the cast came out and was like, sorry, like it was bad. Really bad. Actually, Sydney Sweeney was in that one. So that was her most recent movie until she went to Cannes recently. Mm-hmm. Where when she went to Cannes, it made me realize she's actually a huge star without any movies. Like she's a movie star without any movies that I can think of that are great.
I love Dakota Johnson.
I love her.
Why?
No, but I love her.
Why? I don't know.
Yeah.
I just do.
Well, right. So she's beautiful.
Yeah.
She has great style.
She does.
She has a lot of very famous friends.
Taylor being one of them now.
She was out with Taylor earlier this week. Then she was out with Jennifer Lawrence.
I want to know the origin story of the Taylor Swift friendship. I'd love to make sense of it. But anyway, I don't know yet. I digressed.
She's also in a relationship with Chris Martin, has been for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
They're apparently engaged. And Gwyneth has spoken out about her, saying she's the loveliest in like perfect Gwyneth, like almost shade. Like she's the cutest of all time, AKA the younger, less famous, less posh version of me.
Yep.
But so yeah, it got me thinking like she's everywhere right now and we do love her.
But why?
She
must have a great publicist.
Right? She must have someone working overtime.
I know why I love her.
Okay.
Because of the Ellen DeGeneres interview she did.
Oh my God.
That's why I love her. Do you remember this? It was years ago.
Yes.
And she was on Ellen's show and Ellen said, "How was your birthday? I wasn't invited." And she said, "That's not true, Ellen. You were invited." And then Ellen got all flustered because no one's ever called her out.
Right.
And was like, "What? What do you mean?" She said, "You were invited. I didn't even think you want to go. I didn't even know if you liked me." And then Ellen was like, "What? What is happening here?" And then a producer off camera was like, "You were busy that weekend. You were somewhere else."
Sure.
Yeah.
And that was right around the time that Ellen started to take like a bit of heat from the rumors.
But that line of actually, no, that's not the truth, Ellen, spawned like t-shirts and posters. Yes. It was actually quite a moment.
So she's amazing.
That's why I love her.
She's amazing. And then she is in one of the most highly anticipated movies of the summer coming out in a few weeks called The Materialists.
Oh, okay.
So this movie stars Dakota Johnson, Pedro Pascal, and Chris Evans.
What a lineup.
So Chris Evans is the original internet boyfriend.
Yes.
Replaced by Pedro Pascal,
your boyfriend.
And all of our boyfriends. I can't claim him. It's all of our boyfriends. And this movie is a love triangle between them. So she has to choose between Chris and Pedro. And they're doing a ton of press. It looks super fun and playful. They seem to have like great rapport, and Chris Evans is funny.
Yes.
And Pedro is funny, and Dakota doesn't give a shit about anything.
Right.
So she's funny. So this is like giving me a lot of life. I cannot wait. And it's giving 90s, early 2000s rom-com, like
we've
almost
all been wanting.
Right. It's almost giving like Kate Hudson, Matthew McConaughey, old school vibes. Yeah.
This is where we want to be as a society. We just for some reason nobody can write the movies to get us back there, because you're right. We're watching those movies because what's happening now isn't scratching that itch.
Exactly.
We need this to scratch that itch. Okay, then my question is, if you're Dakota Johnson's character, who do you pick? Are you picking Chris Evans in your triangle, or are you picking Pedro Pascal?
Great question.
It is a great question. I know. I had to think about it there too.
That's Sophie's choice, because
you have to pick. There's a gun to your head right now.
I know there is.
You are in a hostage
I can
situation.
feel the gun on my temple.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
the only way you could ever wear lip liner again is if you make this choice.
No.
There is every road lip liner behind the door once you make this choice.
I just have to choose one.
Choose one.
Okay. Well, are we going with like the celebrity, like their actual personalities, or are we going with the personalities in the movie?
No, their actual real people personalities.
Oh, real people. Oh, well then I'm going Pedro.
Okay.
Obviously.
Okay.
But well, actually, same answer if we're going with the movie, because he's like the rich, like he's fun and amazing, but he's like rich and polished, whereas like Chris Evans is full of heart and like her old boyfriend, but he's like has no money. I'm still going Pedro.
Oh, see, you got me. See, he's like, oh, he's full of heart with no money. I choose that one.
Yeah, I know you would choose that one.
Because
honestly, I don't think Chris Evans is your type, because I think you like.
No, I've interviewed him. He's so hot in person.
Okay.
He's really charming and really nice, and the kind of guy you want to bring home to your parents.
Oh, yeah.
He really
I was going to say,
is
you
a
guys
gem.
would make a beautiful couple.
He might be, I don't know this, he just might be a little bit uptight.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
because I think you like a
my
loose, rough around the edges.
What gave you that impression?
I mean, I don't know. No idea.
Yeah. Pedro might be more fun.
Yeah, Pedro is he's really in a fun era.
I'm there too.
He takes nothing seriously.
Yeah, that's where I am.
And yeah, I just love that about him. Maybe he's like almost too much fun for me. Like, I'm in bed at 9 o'clock. Like, I'm not sure.
You might actually need to go the other way.
I might have to go with, you're right. Well, we just figured that out. You go Pedro, I'll go Chris.
We have this show to solve all these problems.
We really needed to work that out.
We did.
But I'm so excited for this movie. And yeah, I think there's going to be some good movies this summer.
I like the lineup already.
I'm into it.
I am into it too. This is so much fun as always. Yeah, always the best. And obviously we want to hear from you. Let us know what you think. If you've got some love in your heart, if you're feeling Chris Evans vibe, we'd love a rating and a review.
Are we team Pedro or team Chris? Let us know.
Yeah, and feel free to share this show with your pals too.
Giving us the support that we need to continue doing what we love.
That's right.
Shit talking and deciding who we love more, Chris or Pedro.
What a time. We love you. Have a great week.
Bye.
Mwah.